Hushpuppi steps off a private jet. Millions are watching every move on Instagram. A billionaire showman? Or the mastermind of a global fraud empire? From stolen funds laundered across continents, to $14.7 million taken from a Maltese bank, a $922,857 heist on a New York law firm, and even a £100 million attempted Premier League scam, his crimes were bold, audacious, and meticulously executed. Investigators from the FBI, Dubai police, and international agencies tracked him across borders. Operation Fox Hunt 2 was launched. Dubai police raided Hushpuppi's luxury apartment at the Palazzo Versace. They seized $40 million in cash, 13 high-end cars, dozens of laptops and smartphones, and data linking him to hundreds of thousands of potential victims. He steps off the jet, sunglasses on, phone in hand. He pauses, looks around, records a short clip for his Instagram story. Champagne waits in the car. Designer sneakers touch the pavement like a signature. Everything about him projects success. Instagram posts show the good life: penthouses, cars, expensive watches. Captions sound confident, almost instructional, as if he's teaching people how to live like him. But behind the image is Ramon Abbas, a man who built a public persona larger than life. And for a while, it worked. The story begins in Lagos, Nigeria. Ramon Abbas was born into modest surroundings. He grew up in the streets of Lagos, where survival demanded creativity. Money was tight. Ambition was not. From a young age, he wanted more, not just comfort, but status. He watched those who succeeded, studied how they dressed, how they spoke, how others reacted. He learned early, appearance could open doors. By his 20s, Lagos had taught him two lessons. Wealth brings respect. Attention brings power. He became active online. Posted about fashion and lifestyle, long before he could afford them. He was building a digital identity. Piece by piece. Then he saw something bigger: Dubai. A city built for display, where success is measured by visibility. He moved there to reinvent himself, to live inside the image he had been selling. Dubai became the perfect backdrop for his transformation. He rented a suite at the Palazzo Versace. Designer brands filled his wardrobe. Luxury cars lined his driveway. Private jets carried him across continents. This was no longer the boy from Lagos. This was Hushpuppi, a symbol of wealth, influence, and digital fame. But behind the image, something didn't add up. The lifestyle was too large. The money too constant. The story too vague. Soon, the illusion he had built would begin to unravel. Hushpuppi's rise didn't begin with jets or designer sneakers. It started in Lagos. A laptop. A phone. An eye for opportunity. At first, the scams were small. He tested methods. Learned from mistakes. Built skill. Built confidence. He studied how money moved. How businesses reacted. How greed could be exploited. Networks formed. Some friends. Some digital contacts. These connections became the foundation of a network that would stretch across continents. Reports indicate he began as a Yahoo boy, running local online scams. By his 20s, he had mastered illusion. Money became a tool. Transactions became steps toward bigger schemes. Deception moved in layers. Deliberate. Precise. Lagos had limits. Dubai offered scale. He moved to the city to expand operations, access wealth, and connect with the influential. The skyline. The hotels. The businessmen and socialites. Everything became part of his stage. Instagram amplified his presence. Penthouses. Luxury cars. Watches. Jets. Celebrity companions. The audience saw success. Not the machinery behind it. Behind the image, his network ran sophisticated digital operations. Business email compromise, cross-border laundering, layered accounts. Speed and secrecy defined the work. Prosecutors later revealed the scope. In 18 months, he conspired to launder over $300 million. Funds stolen from banks, law firms, football clubs, moved, disguised, reinvested. Luxury hid crime. A $230,000 Richard Mille watch symbolized wealth and deception. The network thrived online. Investigators were tracing the trails. Dubai dazzled him, and the world, but scrutiny was rising. Screenshots, financial records, chat logs, online posts. Every trace became evidence. Risk and exposure moved together. Hushpuppi's network appeared untouchable. But cracks were already visible. The parties grew bigger. The jets came more often. The watches cost more. But behind the glimmering Instagram feed, shadows were gathering. The life Hushpuppi had built, dazzling, untouchable, was starting to strain. It began quietly. Banks noticed transfers that didn't make sense. People on the edges of his network began asking questions. Some vanished. Others grew cautious, wary of the man they once followed without hesitation. Every lavish story, every flashy video, every celebrity cameo, no longer just symbols of success. Each became a footprint, a breadcrumb in the trail investigators would follow. Hushpuppi kept smiling, kept posting. To the outside world, the billionaire Gucci master was untouchable. Footballers, rappers, influencers, laughing beside him, sharing champagne on yachts, posing in front of Dubai's skyline. But behind the smiles, tension simmered. He knew the life he had built on illusion could collapse if even one thread snapped. Dubai had been the perfect stage. For lifestyle. For operations. But the city's glitter hid scrutiny. Financial regulators tightened. Cyber investigators traced anomalies across continents. Digital networks. Offshore accounts. Fast-moving transfers. They left traces. Traces anyone patient enough could follow. Hushpuppi's inner circle felt it first. Some collaborators questioned orders. Doubted the safety of their actions. Every decision became riskier. Every move a potential exposure. The man who had manipulated social media like a magician now had to manipulate his own team. Keep appearances. Control the narrative. Even Instagram, his greatest ally, became a double-edged sword. Every post. Every tagged location. Every celebrity cameo. They made him appear larger than life. But they also painted a digital map of his life. Followers didn't see the danger. Investigators did. Each like. Each comment. Each share. Fuel for a quiet, methodical investigation. The FBI didn't need to break down the door. They followed the open-source intelligence he provided. Geotagging. Cross-referenced receipts. His flaunting of the Richard Mille watch. Irrefutable proof. Court filings, later reported by Bloomberg and the BBC, revealed intercepted messages detailing criminal plots, including the attempted £100 million Premier League club scam. Yet Hushpuppi thrived on audacity. He flaunted his wealth even more boldly. Luxury cars lined driveways. Penthouses sparkled against the desert sky. Private jets waited, ready for the next party. He knew the world loved spectacle. And he was determined to give them one. A life of opulence that could not have been financed by any legal business, he claimed. For millions, Hushpuppi remained the untouchable master of luxury. For those watching closely, the house of cards trembled. Dubai shimmered beneath him. The man who had fooled Instagram was walking a thin line between untouchable glamour and exposure. The final collapse was imminent. Hushpuppi's network, once untouchable, began to unravel. Thread by thread. The man who had fooled millions on Instagram. With private jets. penthouses, designer suits. Now faced a reality no filter or hashtag could soften. Then came the arrests. On June 10, 2020, Dubai police, working with the FBI, closed in Operation Fox Hunt 2. Hushpuppi's apartment at the Palazzo Versace was raided. The seizure was staggering. $40 million in cash. 13 luxury cars worth $7 million. 47 smartphones. 21 laptops. 15 memory devices. Contacts of over 800,000 potential victims stored inside. The Instagram stories, once proof of influence, were now silent witnesses to a life built on deception. The man who posed with footballers, musicians, and influencers, living in a curated world of envy and admiration, stripped of freedom, extradited to the United States. Social media erupted. Millions watched. The billionaire Gucci master, once untouchable, faced consequences. On April 20, 2021, Ramon Abbas pleaded guilty. One count, conspiracy to engage in money laundering. Finally sentenced on November 7, 2022, in Los Angeles Federal Court. The judgment was stark. 135 months. Over 11 years in federal prison. Ordered to pay $1.7 million in restitution to victims. The lesson was clear. No social media persona, no matter how glamorous, can shield the consequences of real-world actions. Even in detention, Hushpuppi remained a figure of fascination. Interviews, documentaries, online debates dissected every detail. Millions continued to watch, some in disbelief, others with grim satisfaction. The story of the Instagram billionaire, transformed into a warning of audacity, greed, and digital deception.